Antonio Brown should never be allowed back on the football field or in the NFL ever again after the outburst he had against the New York Jets. If you're unaware of the situation surrounding Antonio Brown, let me explain. Antonio Brown, a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Antonio Brown, a former wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, according to the head coach, Bruce Arians, who came on the post-game match interview and said that Antonio Brown would never be allowed to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever again after the showing that he had against the New York Jets last Sunday. And you may be wondering to yourself as an audience member, what did Antonio Brown do so bad that he's not allowed to play football or be in the NFL ever again? So, there's a matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New York Jets. New York Jets are one of the worst teams we have in the NFL. They have a record of 2-14. They stink. They have a rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson, who we don't know if he's good enough to play in the NFL. They have a rookie head coach in Saleh, who we don't know if he's going to be a great head coach in the NFL. And they've got a lot of bad players on their team. And as a team, they just stink. They suck. And they're versing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay are a great team. They're about to repeat and win a Super Bowl again. They got Tom Brady on their team, who is the GOAT of the NFL, who's the best quarterback we've ever seen, who's won 7 Super Bowls, and at the age of 44 is playing at an elite level. And you got many other great talented players on their team, like Antonio Brown. And they're versing off each other. And you expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to blow the shit out of New York Jets. You expect Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win by 20, 30 points because they're that great of a team. You expect Tom Brady to score 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, have 400 yards. You expect Antonio Brown to have 10 catches for $150 and score a couple touchdowns. And you expect by halftime, Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, and many other great talented players on Tampa Bay Buccaneers to just sit on the sideline and watch the game. But that doesn't happen. The New York Jets come out hot. They're actually playing for the fans. They're playing for themselves. They're playing for the team. They're showing to everyone that's watching the game, the fans, and to the people watching on TV, that they deserve to be in NFL. They deserve to be here. You see, Zach Wilson is playing out of his mind. He's looking like an NFL quarterback. You got Saleh coaching really well. You got the fans standing up, appreciating the team's effort, appreciating the team's hard work. They're trying their best, and they're actually winning the match. They're actually leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers look out of sort. You see the offense not looking great. You see the defense is giving up points. They're just getting beaten by the New York Jets. Something that, as a fan, you didn't expect. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the ball back, and this is where everything took place. So they get the ball back, and the offense goes on the field. You see Tom Brady running on the field. You see Rob running on the field. You see Mike Evans and the offensive line going on the field. And Bruce Arians turns around and he sees Antonio Brown still standing on the sideline. And he's like, well, I just wrote a play for him. Why is he still standing on the sideline? So he goes up to Antonio Brown, the head coach, Bruce Arians, goes up to Antonio Brown and tells him, hey, I have a play for you. Get on the football field. Antonio Brown's like, nah, I'm good. And Bruce Arians is like, I'm the head coach. And this guy just said no to me? What the hell is going on? And they're just standing awkwardly on the sideline. And then they have another play, and Bruce Arians goes back to Antonio Brown. And this is the second play. And again, it's the play that he's written for Antonio Brown. And he goes, hey, I have another play for you. Come on, go on the football field. Antonio Brown's like, nah, I'm good. And then Bruce Arians gets mad. He's like, this guy just disrespected me again. So he tells him, if you don't go on the football field, you can just fucking leave. You can just get off this football field. I don't want to see you on the sideline, and go sit in the locker room. And then Antonio Brown has his full outburst. Antonio Brown is not a leader. He has zero leadership quality. He's a diva. He has an ego. And that's why I think he should be out of the NFL. But he's not a leader. What he should have done, and what could have saved his NFL career and his Tampa Bay Buccaneer career, is that he should have gone around the football field. He should have gone into the locker room with one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coaches or one of the reps that's on the sideline, gone to the locker room, waited for the team to come, and stood up and put his hand up and said sorry and apologized and told them how he was feeling. He should have been honest, like, I wasn't feeling great this game, guys. I just wasn't feeling it wasn't my day. I just didn't feel great. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just didn't feel good. I had that ankle injury. I was out for 3 weeks because he was out 3 weeks with an ankle injury. He should have said that. He should be like, I was injured. I just didn't feel great. My ankle wasn't feeling great. And I'm sorry I let you guys down, but I promise moving forward, that will never happen again. But Antonio Brown does not have that leadership quality. He doesn't have empathy. He does not understand other people. He's a diva. He's ego. And he wants to, he ruins everything. Every team that he's in, he ruins them. He ruined the Pittsburgh Steelers. He ruined the Raiders. He ruined the Patriots. Now he's ruined the Buccaneers. In my opinion, his outburst is the main reason that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not going to win a Super Bowl. In my opinion, he's ruined Tampa Bay Buccaneers' chances of winning a Super Bowl. So he has his outburst. So what takes place? Him having that zero leadership quality, he starts losing his mind on the sideline. You see Mike Evans trying to hold him down, trying to just taking control of him. He's like, just come down, come down. You can see him not giving a shit about Mike Evans. He starts taking all of his clothes off, except for his pants. He keeps his pants on. He takes his gloves off, throws it in the crowd. By the way, this match was happening in New York. This was the New York Jets at home. This was in Tampa at home. So he's throwing literally his gloves at the home fans of New York. So he's literally throwing his gloves away, takes his jersey off, throws that in the crowd. He has a black shirt under his jersey, takes that off, throws it in the crowd, runs across the football field, not around, runs across the football field, throws peace signs up, his one finger wiggles his finger, high fives a Buccaneer fan, goes into the locker room, grabs all of his stuff that he has in the locker room, puts it in his bag, leaves the stadium, waits for an Uber comes. This is Danny Boy the hustler comes. Yeah, Danny Boy. I'm so happy for Danny Boy. I hope he gets all the fame and IG stuff from all of this. So he gets in the Uber with Danny Boy, and you see Danny Boy on IG Live, on IG posting things like, guys, guess who's in the car with me? Bam, it's Antonio Brown. You see Antonio Brown just chilling in the back of this Uber. So this Danny Boy gets all the fame. I hope he gets all the fame. Looks like a cool dude. And then Danny Boy drops Antonio Brown off in a studio, and he writes a rap song in the studio. That's right. So Antonio Brown in the morning plays a match, gets kicked out, goes in the locker room, grabs his stuff, gets in the car with Danny Boy, goes to the studio, and writes a rap song. That's right. That's exactly what took place. And in my opinion, Antonio Brown, this is the last straw. He should never be allowed back in the NFL ever again. He's done this way too many times. NFL teams, Pittsburgh Steelers, Raiders, Patriots, Tampa Bay, and many other teams in the NFL itself has let Antonio Brown get away with so much because he's talented. There's no denying his talent. He's one of the best wide receivers we have in the game. And for the past 10 years, you could argue him and Julio have gone back and forth with who's the best wide receiver in the game. And both of them have been 1A and 1B when it comes to the wide receiver position. He's easily been one of the best wide receivers we have in the game. And he's a future Hall of Famer. And he just threw all of that in the trash. He just did. If you look at Antonio Brown's career, he's always been ego. He's always been a diva. He's always ruined chemistry, team chemistry, and he's always ruined teams' chances of winning a Super Bowl because he wants it all by himself. He wants to be the star of the media, and he ruins everything. Just look at this. So he gets drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, I'm going to go through his entire career and why I think it's over for him and why it should be over for him. So he gets drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not a high draft pick because we don't know much about Antonio Brown. He wasn't a high-rated wide receiver coming out of college, and he was a small wide receiver. He's only 5'10", and we didn't think much about him. We thought, we don't know who this guy is. We don't know much about him. We don't have much tape on him. We don't even know what college he went to. And he's not a first-round draft pick. He's a seventh-round draft pick. But he's got a work ethic that you can't deny. Antonio Brown has a work ethic. He will work his ass off to be the best wide receiver in the game, and that's what he does. He works his ass off in Pittsburgh, and he becomes a Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler, and he gets his 1,000 yards every single season. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are like, okay, we got a gem here. We just found a diamond in the mud, and we have to pay this guy. So they pay him all the money. I know what they say about money, right? Money doesn't change you. Money makes the person you are come more out. So if you're an ego, if you're a diva, when you don't have the money, it doesn't come out much, right? It only comes out in some instances. But when you get the money, it comes out every single time. I mean, that's what you saw with Antonio Brown. You saw him becoming a diva. You saw how much he was being negative when it came to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Every single position, every time they had the ball on the offensive side and it wasn't thrown his way, the ball wasn't thrown his way and he might have been open, you saw him on the sideline being a diva. You saw him throw his helmet, kick stuff, and he's getting mad with the coaches like, I was open. Ben didn't throw me the ball. What the hell? What's wrong with his team? Throw me the ball. And you saw his ego-ness, his diva come out. And you can see his diva-ness, all of that was getting way too big. Like he was doing things that you didn't expect a wide receiver to do. Like he was getting jealous of Ben. He was getting jealous of Ben Roethlisberger. When Ben was taking days off when it came to practices, you can see Antonio was getting pissed off. He's like, why can't I do the same? Why take practices off like Ben? And coaches were like, no, dude, you can't. Come on, he's our star quarterback. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He's a Hall of Famer. You can't. But you saw Antonio Brown. He's becoming deep. He's like, I want to take days off like that. Why can't I? Then you saw him getting jealous of other wide receivers that were on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was getting jealous of Juju. When Juju had that great year and he won the Pittsburgh's Best Wide Receiver Award, and you saw Antonio Brown not being the leader, he should be the leader. He should be like, Juju, congrats, man. Proud of you. Let's go and win a Super Bowl. No, he was like, how did Juju win the best wide receiver of this team? I'm the best wide receiver of this team. And he got pissed off by the other team members who voted for Juju. That didn't sit right with him. He's like, you can't do that. I'm the best wide receiver of this game. I'm the best wide receiver in this team. Rather than sticking up for Juju, rather than being proud of Juju, we all know that Juju is not better than Antonio. We know that. We also know that Juju is like a second wide receiver. But he was so pissed off that Juju won that both the relationships just went to hell. And Juju looked up to Antonio Brown. And Juju was only 21 years old at that time. He looked up to Antonio. He was like, Antonio is one of my favorite players. He's one of my mentors. And he just broke Juju's heart. And both of the relationships just went to hell. And you saw him do things that Pittsburgh like go by because he was the best wide receiver. You saw him go on Facebook Live when they won against Cincinnati. He was on his Facebook Live. He was videotaping everything while Mike Tomlin was giving a post-game match speech to the team. He video lived the whole thing. And you can hear Mike Tomlin talking about their opponent because they were supposed to versus the Patriots the next round. You can hear Mike Tomlin going, we're going to go there, we're going to kick the Patriots' asses. And Antonio Brown was just videotaping the whole thing. And all of that just went out to the public, and the Patriots got hold of the video and gave them all the ammo. And Tom Brady and Bill Belichick went against the Pittsburgh Steelers and they destroyed them because they had all the ammo. Because Antonio Brown just gave them all the stuff that they needed to hear. Mike Tomlin just going, we hit the Patriots, and Patriots like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Anything else you want to tell us? Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. And then week 17 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, this was his last game ever. He throws a ball at his teammate, and they tell him you can't play week 17. And then he has an interview with Art Rooney, who's the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who tell him they have their ways, they discuss, and they're like, we can't go future with you. Sorry about that, Antonio. Then Antonio gets traded to the Raiders. He gets traded for a 3rd and a 5th round. And with the Raiders, it's not that bad. He starts off fine. Then he has his, his massage therapy that hurts his foot, and he misses practices because his foot gets injured. And then he has the whole helmet drama. Yeah, helmet drama. So what happens, the NFL changes the rule when it comes to the NFL helmet. They want to make the NFL helmet more safe, especially with the CTE. They want to make it more safe. And Antonio Brown gets all the drama. He gets all hissy puff. He's like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this. I want to wear the helmet that I've been wearing for 10 years. And he gets all anger with the team. And he misses practices with the team because he was upset with the helmet rule and he did not want to change his helmet. And then you see him, and then he goes on his Instagram Live and he tells, I want to be released. Raiders, make me free. And then he gets released by the Raiders. And then he gets picked up by the Patriots. And this is where Tom Brady and Antonio Brown relationship come to be. This is when they become best friends. So he gets picked up by the Patriots, and you think, you know what? This is where he changes. This is where Antonio Brown becomes the leader. This is where Antonio Brown becomes the best wide receiver in the game, and he becomes the best leader. He becomes the best leader in the locker room. He's going to stick with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's like, you know what, Antonio? Come stay with me, man. I'm going to take care of you. And they're like, nothing can go wrong. They play the first match, and you see Antonio Brown go for $100, and you're like, this is so great. Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, this looks good. You don't see any of the off the field stuff come, and then everything hits the wall. Everything hits the wall. You have a Brittany Taylor, who was the Pittsburgh Steelers strength coach, come out and say that Antonio Brown sexually assaulted her. And you're like, and she has proof, and all the proof comes out, and you see Antonio Brown actually messaging her, telling her, please don't come out, please stop giving this false stuff out. And you can see Antonio Brown just telling her to shut up, like, I will pay you, shut up. And you see all that stuff come out. Then you have Sports Illustration, who comes out with the second sexual misconduct against Antonio Brown. You see that stuff comes out, and pages are like, it's okay, we can still continue, it's okay, we still continue. And then he gets trouble with the home delivery stuff. The people that are the delivery truck drivers, he gets in trouble with them. He faced battery charges and he has misdemeanor with the delivery truck drivers. And then Patriots are like, there's too much stuff. So then they let him go. They release him. And then he gets suspended 8 games by the NFL. Then he gets picked up by Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady goes to Bruce Arians and tells him, get Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, we need Antonio Brown. We get Antonio Brown, we're going to win the Super Bowl. So Bruce Arians, he doesn't want Antonio Brown. He's against it. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't want. He's too much of a locker room cancer. I don't want him. Fine, Tom Brady wants him. He's the quarterback. We'll go for him. Then Bruce Arians gets Antonio Brown, and he joins the team. And for the first year, he's good. He's good. He's on his best behavior. He's playing up to his best level. He's playing up to the best wide receiver label that he has. He gets 5 catches in the Super Bowl, scores a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and he wins the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the first year. It's amazing. He's looking good. You're like, is this like the best fairy tale ending for Antonio Brown's career? Has he fixed everything? This is amazing to watch. Look at this character development. And then this season comes. And Antonio Brown goes back to his normal self. This happens a lot with Antonio Brown. When people rely on him and people want him to be the best player on the team and they're like, he's going to be the leader, Antonio Brown always goes back to his normal self of being a diva, ego, and all that stuff. And then he goes back to his normal self. And then we get the vaccination card come out where Antonio Brown lies on his vaccination card, which is a felony, by the way. If that happened in a normal job, Antonio Brown would be arrested. He would be in jail. But because he plays football and he's talented, he gets away with it. And he lies about it, and he gets suspended by the NFL. And you see the Bruce Arians relationship with Antonio Brown goes to shit. You can tell that both of them are not connecting again. And Bruce Arians, you can clearly tell, does not want Antonio Brown on the team. He does not even want him in the locker room. You see that interview with Antonio Brown comes out when he's like, the media is always talking bad about me. It's funny. It's ironic that interview came out and he had the outburst against the New York Jets. And I think it's over for him. And we need to give a lot of people credit. We need to give Mike Tomlin credit. Mike Tomlin dealt with Antonio Brown for 9 years. 9 years. He dealt with all of that shit. We need to give Mike Tomlin credit. Ryan Clark, before even Antonio Brown got paid, was out there and telling the truth about Antonio Brown, about how Antonio Brown needs to not be on a football team. Like, Antonio Brown is not a good guy. And look at what he just did. He had this outburst. He had $1 million on the line. He needed 5 catches for 80 yards, and guess what? He would have got his $1 million bonus. Now, he's not going to get anything. And in my opinion, he should be on the NFL. And I want to be serious now, right? Antonio Brown needs help. We need to be serious. He has CTE after he took that hit from Vontaze Burfict. He needs help. He needs actual help. He needs to go with an actual therapist, and get the help that he needs. We just saw miming the guy. We just saw making memes about him, because we will. But there's a lot of people that depend on him. He's got kids, he's got family, he's got parents possibly, but he definitely has kids. And I don't know if he's got a wife or a girlfriend, but he does have people that depend on him, that depend on his money, that depend on the livelihood that he has. And we don't want him to do something that's very wrong. He might end up killing himself. He might even get into accident. So we have to be honest here. Antonio Brown needs to get the help that he needs. That's why I don't think he should be picked up by any NFL team, because he might be. He's that talented. He's that talented that he might get picked up. And we can't have that. We need him to be off the football field. We need him to get the help that he needs. He needs all the help that he can get. So Antonio Brown, get the help that you need. Go to a therapist. Get it fixed. Because we don't want you to die at a young age. We don't want you to commit suicide or do something very wrong. Because you definitely need help. And it's a clear sign that you need help. So go get it. Please, for the sake of God, go get help. You need it. Get back on your feet. Become a better man. That's what you need to do. Become a better man. It's not about football anymore. It's about becoming a better person. Right now, you're an awful person and you need to turn into a better person. So please, get the help that you need.